Hello everyone, welcome to the penultimate round of Swiss. Nathan Holiday on the left, Pierre Dagen on the right, Rich and Randy in the booth here, and you are going to see Pod from Nathan Holiday on the left against Junk from Pierre Dagen on the right. Both these players at 12-1. The winner here should, we think, be able to walk off into the proverbial sunset next round with an ID which will see them safely in with that intentional draw to the top 8. The loser, well, then they get into the fun of the tiebreak mix, though they should be in good shape anyway.
That's not clear. The way the tiebreakers work for these giant Grand Prix is that it is only your opponent's match win percentage today. It doesn't matter what your opponent's overall record in the tournament is. It matters what their record is today.
Sure.
Which, to a first approximation, makes the tiebreaks kind of random. Like, if you're in that tiebreaker, like, normally if you go, 13-0 and then lose, you'd think, oh, I'm going to have the best tiebreakers.
Right.
That just does not apply. That intuition is based on tournaments that are using opponent's match win percentage for the entire event. Right. And that's not the rules for this event.
And here it's more 3-2, if you like. If they lose this one of these guys will be 3-2 today.
Right, and you don't know, like, those opponents that you beat in the first couple of rounds, they may have gone 0-5.
Yep.
Right, you don't know.
So much more volatile.
Much more volatile, right.
Okay.
And the way the standings play out, it looks like we'll have, depending on one pair-down match, we could have 4 people safely IDing. 13-1 and 1 is safe.
Yes.
40 is the magic number you want to get to. You want to get to 40 points. You want to get to 13-1 and 1. There are potentially 4 people that can get there. Okay, great. What about 39 points? Well, there are 10-ish people that can get there. That is, there's currently like 30 of them, and then they play, and half of them win, and they play, and half of them win, and then these guys will lose this round and be in the mix. So you're going to have a giant scrum of people on 13-2, and like half of them are going to get in the top 8, and half of them are going to miss.
Yeah, I mean, table 17 right now is Chris Kvartet of the United States against Frank Karsten, Hall of Famer, on 33 points. Yep. One of those two go win. They're on 39, and that's table 17.
Yeah, so you've got like 11 or 12 tables, which will generate, 3 or 4 players at X and 2.
Yeah, 9, 10, 11, 12 are all likely to be on 39 points, somewhere around that. So
try not to pick up the second loss.
Yeah, let's win here.
Win this one, extend the hand in the next round, go to the top 8.
So Nathan Holiday will open up with Voice of Resurgence, and opposite that will be an old-school Dark Confident, the original artwork. And Pierre Dagen, as we've seen before in feature matches this weekend, as soon as Dark Confident comes down, he puts a dice on top of his library. Good idea. Aide Memoire. Just remind himself that he needs to reveal that top card to the Dark Confident.
So amongst the X and 2 players, by the way, I do not see Jeremy Dizani's name. I don't know if we'd actually reported him picking up loss number 3. I didn't hear about it if it had been reported, but Jeremy Dizani will not be adding to his Player of the Year total.
71 against 70. No, he's down on 28 points, so he had a draw. He's 9 wins, a draw.
And 3 losses.
And 3 losses now, so, yep. 71-70 is set for Portland. There you go, Reed. You can get back to testing now. So Tarmogoyf now for Pierre Dagen after Abrupt Decay takes out the Dark Confident. And Nathan will add to his board with 1 mana, and it will be Viscera Seer, and then the second mana brings out Birds of Paradise.
You're going to start making sound effects again.
Do you know what? For you.
Yeah.
There we go.
I wasn't actually asking. I mean,
Rashad
requesting.
was.
Rashad was requesting?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm not going to do it again, Randy. It's fine. It's penultimate round of Swiss. Got important magic to look at.
I agree.
Double Tarmogoyf now, plus Scavenging Ooze. That's a pretty powerful board over there.
Yeah, Dagen may have fallen out of contention with, but Dagen with the same basic deck, doing quite well for himself.
Yeah, now, he was meant to be in feature match action last round up against Timothée Simoneau, but Simoneau's got nothing on the line. Dagen has Platinum on the line.
Right.
And so Simoneau said, hey, I will take my second loss right here, right now. Let's not play. Let's go get a cup of tea. And so that's why Dagen is 12-1. Simoneau is still live at 11-2. He's playing against Gabe Schwartz this round on 33 points. Both players 11-2.
Dagen's on 37 points for the year. I don't know what his worst Grand Prix. Well, I don't know what his 5th best Grand Prix is.
I would imagine that anything will get him somewhere.
You don't think he has 5 Grand Prix results?
I don't think he has 5.
Yeah, I'll buy that. 37, so he needs 5 points to clinch Platinum just for showing up.
Yes.
42 is the magic number to know you're going to clinch it. He needs second. Or semifinal is 5? Yeah, semifinal is 5.
8-6, and then 5 for the semis.
But, I mean, even just a top 8 means, oh, now all he needs is a top 100 at the Pro Tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's...
Every point's around, pretty much.
Big stakes there.
Pretty much. So the board continues to expand for Holiday, who now has double Birds of Paradise, Spellskite, Voice of Resurgence, and Viscera Seer up against 2 Tarmogoyf and that Scavenging Ooze. Chatted with Nathan first thing this morning. He says that today, or yesterday rather, was his 3rd 9-0 start at a GP. And he went on very self-deprecatingly to say, and it should have been 4, as he punted the last round at one of the GPs this season, he says. So, yeah, Phoenix was 1, and then yesterday swept the board. He's going to put Spellskite and Voice of Resurgence in front of the 2 Tarmogoyfs.
Yeah, getting the token from the Voice. Pretty big upgrade on this board. 5-5 so far. I know another story we've been watching is Josh McClain in his quest for 1 pro point. He is not in top 8 contention. He does have 3 losses.
Right.
But he might, I think he'll be on tiebreakers for top 16.
Okay.
Is how that's going to play out?
Sure. Now, I mean, he was 2 losses.
Yeah, he's got 1 loss today.
Yeah. He was at 2 losses early and had to win his win and in just to get here today. So he's on bonus time at the moment.
He'll need some really sweet breakers, though. They're going to be a giant mob of people tied on X3.
Mr. Marshall Sutcliffe joins us. Hello,
gentlemen. I've got some updates from our side tables over there. Ross Merriam versus Nathan Jones. Nathan Jones finds Galvanic Blast, which blasts away Ross Merriam for the first game. Jacob Wilson is up a game over Andrew Boswell, who got stuck on 2 lands and just couldn't really do anything. Philip Napoli wins a really quick game 1 against a non-car. Philip Napoli's playing Infect, and we all know what that thing's capable of. It did exactly that, and they're on the game 2.
Worth noting that Jacob Wilson was paired down this round against Andrew Boswell, so if Jacob goes on to win 1 of the next 2, that will mean, assuming no draws elsewhere, that there are 4 players on 39 points going into the last round, and that will make for quite the 39-point scrum when those top 4 ID the last round and say thank you very much, see you in the top 8. Here is Murderous Redcap taking out part of the lingering souls that are, well, you know, lingering for Dagen.
I took out Scavenging Ooze.
All right, yeah.
Still 4 souls lingering.
All things magic all in one place, apparently.
Yeah, I mean,
basically, lingering souls token.
Holiday just needs Malira. I mean, he hasn't had any pod shenanigans.
Yeah.
But he's just naturally drawn a Viscera Seer and a Murderous Redcap.
Just being a fair deck so far.
2 chords in his deck could also go get Malira. But yeah, he's 1 Malira away from the combo kill. Dagen sees this, can't necessarily do much about it. He may have some removal in his hand, but... Interesting.
Take out a token.
But now the combo doesn't work. Like, Malira is no longer lethal because the red cap already has a -1/-1 counter on it and
Right.
would not come back should Malira be in the offing. If he doesn't have access to Malira, though, then he's got no choice but to try to buy himself the time to go get some stuff.
Because Dagen is well and truly taking to the air. We're going to see a bunch more tokens because it's flashback straight away. 4 more, up to 7, still with double Tarmogoyf as well, though they're basically sitting out of the way. Holiday at 10. Has a little bit of time because of the Birds of Paradise, which at least, you know,
It's two attacks is
does it
lethal either way.
right, so it doesn't change the clock, fine.
No, I mean, he can only take 5 instead of 7, but
Yeah.
5 plus 7, even 5 plus 5 would be good enough. He's got one more turn after this one, is what it looks like.
Yeah, he can do away the murderous red cap to get rid of 1 at some point. But Kasali Pride Mage is next for Holiday. That doesn't do much against many flyers. Dagen will go fetch at the end of turn.
Yeah, this is a Lingering Souls game. You've definitely seen the power of that white splash out of these rock decks.
Dagen has been on Lingering Souls, but were we together on the Dagen game where it was just basically 1 spell in the entire game and it was Lingering Souls on turn 3, or was I with Marshall for that round? I can't quite remember.
I've certainly seen lots of Lingering Souls this weekend,
yeah,
and they've looked pretty good.
Yep, really have.
It's been sort of ebbing and flowing in terms of its popularity in the Jund, what used to be called Jund decks.
Yeah, ironically, we talk about Reed Duke maybe trying to watch the coverage through from the Pantheon House, but it's probably Tom Martell once he hears about all the Lingering Souls.
Did he finally
7
get
of
there?
them.
He was having airline problems earlier in the weekend.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It's a whole running Twitter thread.
Ugh.
It was actually kind of hilarious. Basically involves Martell trolling the United Airlines agents on Twitter and them more or less trolling him back.
Oh, wow. I did actually read some of this. This features baggage, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Meanwhile, all his teammates figure he just booked a Saturday afternoon flight, and this was his way of covering up not getting there on time.
Oh, boy. With friends like these.
Exactly. All
So,
right, Treetop's going to get in there along with the
yes.
Tarmogoyfs. Dejan would, I mean, he's not expecting this to actually kill Nathan Holiday, but he thinks maybe he can force some extra chump blocks on the ground that would prevent...
Restoration Angel.
Oh, that explains...
Bring back.
That explains his willingness to chump block with the red cap once,
Mhm.
because he gets a reset here, gets to pick off a token, gets to block. He's going to survive this attack phase, and he's going to be 1 Malira Sylviak outcast from winning.
Yep. 2/3 of the combo remain intact. 1 needs to be on top of Nathan Holiday's deck.
He probably wants to keep... Yeah, he tapped those birds, right? He'll have a bird alive, so a pod,
Yes.
a cord, or Malira herself will win the game. I don't think he's able to do enough damage here to survive a second turn, right? Looks like he's taking... He's got the Angel blocking 1 token. Red cap killed a token. He's still taking 5 in the air. If he takes nothing on the ground, then there's some chance he can survive another turn. I don't think he can take nothing on... Well... He can block with the... Kasali Pride Mage is not part of the puzzle. I think he's counting now to make sure he can cord for Malira. He has to keep enough creatures alive to keep that in play. Which doesn't seem hard. I mean, just the birds in the land do it. So, Pride Mage is disposable. Spellskite is disposable. And that's it. He already lost his token from that Voice of Resurgence last turn, right? Oh, red cap's gonna block.
So right now that's 5 through the air. Angel kills Lingering Souls token. Spellskite, it's a wash.
Taking a Tarmogoyf? I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, I guess red cap coming
then-
back kills a token,
Right, so it'll be 4.
but he took a Tarmogoyf hit here, right?
No, he...
He's 2
yeah,
Tarmogoyfs
yeah,
and
yeah.
a treetop village.
Yeah. 1...
Oh, the token's still there.
The channel
Oh,
fireball
the channel
token.
fireball thing is the voice of resurgence token. That is still
Yes.
around. So he took 0 on the ground. He took 5 in the air, but it's down to 4 tokens. So he's
4,
actually
yeah, 'cause of the,
bought himself an extra draw phase. He's done it though at the cost of getting a counter onto his red cap. All very interesting.
Dagen looks 4, 5, 6, just 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Oh.
And okay.
Garrick.
Planeswalker time. Because Dagen needs something in play. Because in theory, even without Malira, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, that
The
token's a
size
6.
of the token, that's
The
13
token-
damage.
The token 8 Tarmogoyf. So the token's a 6. Yeah,
Yeah.
7, 8, 9, 10. Nathan Holiday was lining up a potentially lethal attack.
the fair way to deal 16. I don't need infinite, I just need 16. All right, big draw step. That Birds of Paradise. Caught a little glimpse.
I didn't see it.
Nathan Holiday's someone I can't wait to see in action in Portland next weekend because he's so clearly among the elite at the GP level and needs to show it at the biggest stage of all. Hasn't done that so far. Hasn't had a ton of chances yet either, so jury very much out on that, but really want to see if he can do it.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out whether to attack, whether to block. You may as well attack with the token, I guess. It's sort of the same as blocking because it's going to get eaten. It's going to either kill Garrick or get chumped by that 3/3. Could also have the Angel fly over and kill Garrick if he wanted to, but then he'll be taking 4 from the Lingering Souls token. They suddenly become lethal over the course of 2 attacks. Gavany Township would do some work here. If those birds were 1/2s, oh. And we'd be on the big bird plan.
Yep, here we go. It was a Birds of Paradise that he drew. Dagen untaps. Has his Trampling Treetop Village back in his land row for now. 9 creatures on the board for Nathan Holiday. It's like watching a sealed deck stall. 15 creatures on the table. Not often you see a board quite like this in Modern, but so how many flyers are going to come in?
Wow, attacks with 3 of them. And Holiday's
So-
going to chump 1 with a Bird of Paradise. He's willing to go to 4. He's not interested in going to 3.
And that is exactly what happens. Tense moments here in Nathan Holiday and Pierre Dagen. We're going to come to Marshall in just a little bit, but Holiday is a Malira away from just the end.
No, the red cap has
Oh,
a
no,
counter on it.
that's right.
He's playing to win it fair. Like, he's playing to attack for damage. He's not playing for the combo. I
Right,
think he's
so-
playing to just beat up all of Dagen's creatures.
Well, it looks like they're having a thinking moment. So, Marshall, what do you got for us?
All right, so we have 3 game 3s. All
Wow.
3 of the other matches are going to game 3. Jacob Wilson falls to Olivia Voldaren, of all things. Anankar gets Kiki Jiki plus Zealous Conscripts to go infinite, and Ross Merriam destroyed every single permanent from Nathan Jones outside of 1 land. Full graveyard, 1 land. So game 3s all around.
We're way off from game 3, that's for sure.
Ha!
We're still trying to get number 1 settled.
Oh, wow. Bird plus Exalted is going to take out Garrick. Well, threaten to take out Garrick and draw instead a chump block from a token.
Yep.
It's a pretty nice little attack.
And then Nathan goes
Now here's Kitchen Finks. Now Malira is infinite life. Also, Nathan is happy to get any life here. Yeah, that Kitchen Finks on the ground. Nathan actually just, he doesn't need to draw anything. I think this board,
just got into grind mode and got there.
I think he can win from here.
There was a point in this game, if you're just tuning in, Dagen had a pair of Tarmogoyfs at 3-4, 7 Lingering Souls tokens.
He had
a
8.
Garrick.
He got to 8
Oh, he got
before
to 8,
they started
okay.
getting picked off. Yeah, Nathan Holiday has managed to kill 6 of them. Just one at a time. Murderous Redcap and Restoration Angel. And then here a 1-2 Bird of Paradise attacking and getting an Exalted trigger. All right, so Saxus Redcap to Viscera Seer. Kept it on top with no hesitation.
We're asking Matt Nass about Kasali Pride Mage over Reclamation Sage.
Yeah,
And he said, oh, you know what? 2-2 with Exalted's a pretty good rate.
that's true.
And
Totally true. Yeah, that guy's underrated.
And-
He does a lot.
and here we are with our 1-2 Birds of Paradise. Took a quick glimpse. That looked like Revelark was what Nathan Holiday has in hand.
So the Angel would like to kill Garrick, which untapped 2 lands last turn. Ooh, Slaughter Pact has
yeah.
other ideas. I believe that token is also attacking. I believe it's attacking Dagen himself.
Back down to only the 8-8 right now.
Funny, he's trying to figure out whether to... Oh yeah, Spellskite is going to eat this Slaughter Pact, I would think. Gets the blue mana from a Bird of Paradise rather than pay 2 life.
Hmm.
Swing and a miss for Slaughter Pact. Dagen is presumably doing this before he declares blockers.
Tarmogoyf up to 4-5 now. Yep. And
Dagen is going to chump. He's going to chump
with
both of them.
And now they've all gone.
All 8 of them are gone.
They didn't linger enough. Well, at least so far. And it was indeed Revelark that arrives for Nathan Holiday.
That Spellskite even got in a Scry trigger with Viscera Seer. Redirected the Slaughter Pact and then still sacked to the Seer for a Scry.
Filthy.
Was again topped. Interesting.
Dark Confident.
And tick up Garrick.
Nathan taking a look. Currently holding a graveyard.
Dagen's seen enough. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, he has seen enough. Wow, Nathan Holiday. We kept trying to get him to play for the combo kill. And he's like, I don't need this combo. I'm fine. I don't care if there's 8 1-1s over there.
Now the
I'll
7.
just kill them.
Then the 6. 4.
That was a well-played game.
Yeah, that was terrific. Well, you will see Nathan Holiday, Pierre Dagen, and many of the world's finest players in action next weekend at Pro Tour Magic 2015. Don't you dare miss it. The final 3 days of our season. You will see every Platinum, every Gold Pro. You will see the Rookie of the Year, the Player of the Year, every World Championship slot, every World Magic Cup captain decided, all 72 of them ready for an epic Worlds Week in December. Reed Duke versus Jeremy Desani headlining the Player of the Year hunt. And Garrick will be there, and, well, we will be too. Make sure you join us. Everywhere else in our feature match area are heading for Game 3, remember, so we're a full game behind the rest right now. Can see our players gearing up for their Game 2, but let's take a look at an Ankara against Philip Napoli. And Phil has opened up with a Gataxian Probe. And there you can see Path to Exile, Deceiver Exarch, another Path to Exile, Birds of Paradise. Card at the top, which I saw but can't now remember. And a land.
More removal than the Infect deck likes to see.
Fair. Yep, Napoli on poison, trying to infect up to 10 counters. Kara, meanwhile, playing another pod deck, like we've just watched Nathan Holiday play fair with. Go away, Birds of Paradise.
What card was that?
Hunt the Hunted, I think. Yeah.
Hunt the Hunted. Wow.
Yeah, out the board.
Bird on bird violence?
Stop it.
Crazy.
Stop it. Yep, 2 Hunt the Hunted out the board.
Nice.
Gotta like that. Phil Napoli, thinking about Magic since 1994. A New York guy, right, Phil? I think.
Or New Jersey.
Sorry, I'd rather terribly think of those as the same place.
They're pretty different.
Because that Brian David Marshall fella, he's from New York, right?
Close enough.
For government work, at least. All right, so Phil Napoli with Hunt the Hunted has got rid of Bird, Spelt,
Yeah.
Skite has also gone. Get your words out, Rich.
And Distortion Strike is doing some work here.
Yeah.
Rebounding its way back. Nexus is his only poison creature he's getting to attack with, but yeah, he activates it as response to the Distortion Strike rebound. Get in there again.
Meanwhile, our players are good to go in game number 2 in our main match. That is, of course, Nathan Holiday sitting on the left of your screen against the French Pro Tour Theros finalist Pierre Dagen, both at 12-1. Nathan Holiday right now is 1 game away from pairings dependent an ID into the top 8 next round. Dagen 2 games away from that same happy position. Nathan Holiday, close to 11,000 US dollars in career earnings. Top 8 of GP Phoenix and Minneapolis to qualify for next week's Pro Tour. Champion of Grand Prix San Diego 2013. And he went 11-5 in his only PT start to date. Not shabby.
Yeah, Dismember takes out Dark Confidant. Pod players have been sideboarding in a lot of Dismembers this weekend.
Pierre Dagen, of course, has rather more career earnings, not least because he finished 2nd at a Pro Tour. He's
That
a
helps.
gold level pro.
How many Pro Tours has he played?
He's played in 7, 63 lifetime pro points, 37 points this season already. Got a Grand Prix top 8 as well from Bochum a couple of years ago.
Liliana kills the bird there. Looks like Nathan might have Abrupt Decay in his hand and sort of end the Liliana reign at merely a 2-for-1.
And here is Eternal Witness.
Yeah.
I'd like to get back Dismember. Liliana ticks up. And Lingering Souls goes to the graveyard for Dagen off the discard. And now here is the second Planeswalker. It's Garrick.
Untap 2 lands for the Lingering Souls.
Nice.
I guess versus an Eternal Witness, that's better than making a 3/3. I don't know. Could have just made a 3/3, gone to 2 loyalty. Well, the 3/3 would die to the Dismember, and then Eternal Witness would finish off Garrick. So this line, those two loyal, +1 loyalty instead of -1 loyalty makes a big difference on this board, I think.
Holiday just edging towards, is it going in, isn't it?
I mean, it doesn't do a lot of good on defense. It just dies to Liliana. He may be content to trade it for one of those flyers.
Well, keeping them off the board was certainly the way forward in the last game. Even though it took him so many turns to actually achieve that. Holiday still in contemplation mode. He is down to 12. All kinds of hitting himself in the face with his mana base. Two mana.
Wow. Dismember and an Abrupt Decay.
Wow.
Pointed at each of the 2 Lingering Souls tokens. Kill Liliana. Huh. Oh no! Slaughter Pact!
And this Slaughter Pact does resolve in a meaningful fashion. Which Pierre
wow. Best laid plans.
That was pretty big.
That was quite the turn.
Yeah, wasn't it?
I think I like Nathan's line there. I mean, it's always annoying to point an entire card at a Lingering Souls token, but the fact that he was going to get to finish off Liliana sort of quote-unquote for free made that line look pretty good. He just Slaughter Pact trumps it all. Dagen did somehow remember to pay after putting a die on top of his library.
Are you a fan, with a game designer hat on, of cards that play outside the rules of mana in general? Things like, you know, you get a Daze that lets you not have any mana available, but you can still do things. Phyrexian mana that lets you do things even though you have no mana. Is that an area of Magic that you enjoy, either as a player or a game designer?
I think it's overdone. I think free is very scary. And so I think that design tends to go there a little more often than I want them to.
Right.
Like, Phyrexian mana, when it came out, I thought was just a bad idea. I mean, it does interesting things, but it can break so easily. I mean, look at the way Mental Misstep just made Legacy miserable. And they were attempting to make a card that would be relevant to Eternal formats. I mean, it works out okay in Vintage, just because people can kind of skip turn 1 and go straight to turn 2 with Moxen and whatnot.
Sure.
So it becomes like that. But I don't know. You're playing a card that's only fair and interesting in Vintage. Yeah, free spells are scary. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Oh, I get that entirely.
Yeah, Nathan has seen enough.
So?
2 Planeswalkers, Scavenging Ooze. Just kind of looks up. Yeah, that Slaughter Pact got me good, didn't it?
Now, the live look-in table...
Yeah, no, I'm waiting for Marshall to come over.
Does not have anyone to look in on. Marshall is there having a quick chat to find out what happened in that one, as we will prepare for Game 3 in Nathan against Dagen. 1 game away from, we think, the top 8 with an ID for sure, but whether they can ID is slightly dependent on pairings next round.
Yeah, it looks like another finished match on the other table as well. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had...
Napoli won? Yeah, when we left, he had a Distortion Strike on the rebound, making the Nexus bigger. Looks like those Nexi got there.
So, Phil Napoli goes to 36 points.
So
That
he needs to win the next one to get into the giant tiebreaker scrum.
Yeah. Yes.
Simple enough.
A win puts him anywhere from, I guess, 5th to 12th.
Something like that, yeah.
And as you very carefully pointed out, it isn't as simple as look at the tie breaks right now. I mean, it helps.
The tie breaks are relevant. Like, those numbers do go in, but the swings are just much bigger than most people are used to seeing at the end of 15 rounds.
Yes. And most people don't look at what the shifts are in round 6 and 7, which is the equivalent of what we're doing.
Exactly.
We've played 5 rounds today, or at the back end of a 5th round here.
Right, so it's like looking at the standings at the end of round 5 of a Grand Prix.
And then looking at the end of round 6. I went from 217th to 136th.
Yeah, exactly.
With a win.
Now, it's certainly, having a higher number now is better. Because
yes.
Which is bad news for Josh McClain, by the way. His breakers look pretty bad.
Okay.
I know he's hoping to mise a top 16 to get the Insta-Platinum. But yeah, his breakers will need some help, which entirely possible. I don't know. Hard to feel too bad for him in particular, since he picked up 2 losses early. He doesn't, quote-unquote, deserve them anyway.
Right.
If we'd use breakers the way everybody's used to, he still would not have had good ones.
So we are all systems go in game 3. One of these guys in the top 8, we believe, with a win in this game. The other one could still get in the 13-2 round and round the lucky dip goes. Nathan Holiday kicks us off with a Noble Hierarch. Dagen will go fetch. We're in business with Mr. Marshall Sutcliffe, who is going to join us in just a moment with some news.
Hey, gentlemen. So the other 3 matches are done.
All 3 of them?
Yeah. Phil Knapp's one, you guys heard that. He went all in on a couple of distortion strikes, and his opponent, Anand Kaur, did not have anything, and he got there. Nathan Jones defeats Ross Merriam with his Affinity deck. Wow. It was one of those drawn-out games where Nathan had a ton of artifacts, couldn't quite get that last punch through, but of course cranial plating got that last in there. And then in our other one, Jacob Wilson has lost to Andrew Broswell, who had Olivia Valderin again to just completely dominate the creature-based board.
What is Boswell's deck?
What's that?
What's he got Olivia Valderin in? He's Jund with Olivia?
Yep.
Wow.
So.
Now that makes things very interesting.
It does. It does. It means there will be 3 players on 39 points. So 13-1, 2 of them will get to shake hands and draw. And the third guy's going to get paired down against an opponent who cannot draw.
Against Andrew Boswell, that's right.
Well, not necessarily Boswell.
Oh, it could be Chad Castle, because there's another 34, yeah. So if he wins, he's in the 37 mix.
Oh, right. Boswell's on 37, right.
Yes.
It'll either be Boswell or Castle.
That's right. Castle's still, as far as we're aware, playing on 34 against James Bauer of the United States on 33.
Yeah, so that will be a clean win and all the others... Because that one, the winner gets to either 42 or 40.
What it does is it makes it slightly better for the 39s, because you're going to see 2 people ID at 39 to 40 rather than 4.
Exactly. Yeah, there'll be 3 people ahead of the scrum instead of 4.
So there's one extra now.
Yeah, so 5 people will get in on 39.
Yeah, so Phil Napoli now we think may have just shifted to 4th to 11th.
Exactly.
With a win in the last round.
Instead of 5th to 12th.
Something like that.
Jacob Wilson is in that scrum now. He'll be playing for the tiebreaker die roll. Not actually a die roll, but feels that way sometimes. The loser of this match will be in that scrum. Ross Merriam is in that scrum, having just lost.
Yeah, and so many people around the tournament have no idea of the impact of their own match. I very clearly remember playing in one of my very earliest PTQs, and I was at 1-5, and suddenly the best players were there to watch me play.
Oh, funny.
And it was because I had played a couple of the guys who were waiting to see whether they made their tie breaks into the top 8. You know?
Crazy.
Yeah, and that's where we are now. This is round 5 going into round 6. So
how much time's left in the round, by the way? These guys have played some pretty long games, right? I mean, both of them ended on concessions as soon as somebody had a large advantage. They didn't actually play to
I don't think
Death?
the second game was too bad.
Wow,
the
there's
first
that
one
slaughter
was
pact
certainly
again.
long. Yeah, that's been a big player. Yes, pay straight away. Well done, Pierre.
Yeah, Nathan went for the Gavany Township plan here. 2 Hierarchs and an Angel. He's just like, attack, counters on all my guys, charge. But Slaughter Pack takes a lot of the sting out of that attack.
I think I love every single aspect of Gavany Township. I love the name. I love the art. I love what it does. I love what it forces you to do, the
Sure.
things it allows you to do, the threats it poses. Just
6 minutes left.
tremendous card. Thank you very much to Rusty.
Could get a draw here.
Yeah.
Then nobody gets paired down to avoid the handshake. Instead, you have 3 or 4 people on
someone
X11.
does, because you have 3. You still
No,
have
you'll have
3.
2 13-1s.
Oh, okay.
The third 13-1 is the winner of this match. If there is no winner of this match, that's then
it's just 2 that go in, and then
Exactly.
everything else is a straight.
yeah. So the 2
Suddenly, Phil Napoli could be 3rd to 10th.
something yeah. Well, it's still 11th because both these guys stay relevant.
Yeah. We're doing our best for you, Phil. By the time this round's in, you'll be a lock for the top 2.
Gavany Township continuing to do good work here.
Yeah. Tarmogoyf for
Tarmogoyf.
Dagen.
It seems like it might block.
Yeah, and it seems like that Scavenging Ooze is going to get bigger.
Stayed on
Ideally in a
defense, though.
hurry. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Holiday at 13, Dagen at 5.
Voice
His-
of Resurgence.
Mm-hmm.
So now maybe don't attack Township. Yeah, if he attacks, he doesn't get to activate Gavany Township, so he's not going to attack into Tarmogoyf. He's going to just
Yeah.
build.
Needs his Hierarchs for mana. Dagen at end of turn is going to reach
Probably
out.
it has to be as a response.
Right.
Otherwise, he'll be giving him a Voice of Resurgence token. Pretty sure
Right.
that's as a response.
Yeah. Float.
Yeah, float. Float the mana, let the Voice resolve, then activate the Township so the Voice gets a counter, or so you can do whatever.
Okay, here's Kasali Pride Mage, so more exalted action for Holiday.
But no Township. Yeah, Hierarch can get to 4 power, but that does not seem good enough on this board.
Dagen at just 3.
Well, he lost 2 life to that Dismember.
Yep.
Wow, on 3, that means all of Holiday's creatures are lethal.
Lingering Souls, let's make 2 more blockers. 1 green mana up for a Scavenging Ooze, so functionally Dagen at 4.
It's a pretty relevant number. Da-da. Holiday can attack and force. The Ooze can get to 3/3, so that would be a trade. Oh, okay, he's going to attack with just the Voice. Gets an Exalted trigger to be a 3/3.
4/4.
Oh, 2 Exalted triggers
Yeah.
for 4/4, and the Township can send it to 5/5. Don't know exactly how big Tarmogoyf is, but it's not 5/6. So, Lingering Souls takes 1 for the team. Scavenging Ooze grows to 3/3 and gains a life. Nathan still has his Township mana available, which he doesn't need to commit until Pierre's end step. I don't know what Pierre's got in his hand, but the board certainly seems to favor Nathan Holiday.
Well, Dagen can eat away with into the graveyards on the Scavenging Ooze, but meanwhile Nathan has enough creatures that Gavany Township is...
Tectonic Edge is pretty relevant here.
Uh-huh.
No more Township for you.
Yeah, you get 1 more crack at it, and then it's gone.
Yep. That's
But I
not
mean-
a 7. That's a 1. There's no 1 on that die.
Nonetheless, that is a 3/3. The Hierarch is a 3/4. The Voice is a 3/3. With Exalted, you're looking at a 5/6 coming in if he sends the Hierarch.
Right.
5/5 as the Voice.
More Lingering Souls tokens, too. This Tech Edge was big here. Holiday's going to have to send his creatures in 1 at a time, using Exalted to keep them big enough. You're not going to be able to make them all big enough to attack through that Tarmogoyf anymore.
it's almost impossible to call a card in Modern a breakout of the weekend because so much has been cyclical over the years. But
Sure.
Lingering Souls has been tremendous this weekend.
It has. It really has.
I'd be very surprised if that wasn't the top card of the weekend.
Huh. Abrupt Decay takes down Scavenging Ooze. Dagen does not eat anything as a response. Not sure there are creatures to eat. He also wants to keep Tarmogoyf large. Now what?
In for one. Not long to go in this one.
New ooze. Probably going to be the voice again. Could be the Pride Mage. They both attack as 5/5s.
In comes voice. Tarmogoyf is not quite big enough alone. Double block does it, but gives a creature back the other way.
Yeah, I mean, this is why it's been the voice in particular that Nathan's been sending on the offense. If he does lose it to a double block, he still gets the token. Yeah, puts the Tarmogoyf in front, takes out the Tarmogoyf, gets his 3/3 token.
And now, of
Scavenging
course,
Ooze goes to work.
Yeah, because now there's no reason without the Tarmogoyf in play. Let's just get that graveyard emptied as far as possible. So the main event has called time on the round. That doesn't mean that they are in extra turns here, because they may have a couple of extra minutes.
Right.
We will let you know as soon as we know. I have about 1 minute left. I wonder if we are going to see a draw.
Unintentional draw would mean both players control their own destiny in the last round. You know, a win would mean, I mean, the loser has to win and cross their fingers.
Yes.
And even the winner might still be forced to win if he gets paired down.
Mm-hmm. GPs around this size make for really, really interesting last few rounds. That's just great. Thanks, 2,460 odd Magic players, for coming along.
Oh, yeah.
Supporting the event.
Dagen is attacking with Scavenging Ooze. Nathan is lining up a gigantic block.
How big is that block altogether? It's like a 3/3, a 3/3, and a 3/3/4.
Yeah, it's 9. Well, if he blocks with 2, then yeah, the double block I don't think would get the job done. There's at least one, maybe I think 2 creatures that can get eaten.
Yeah, and of course the token is always checking how big it is.
Right. So I mean, it would shrink after any mass block and quite possibly die.
So the token just goes away.
And Nathan's down to 7. This is pretty tight.
Tight, not just on board and with what the stakes are.
No, 10 life sounds like. Right, the ooze did not get through. Okay.
Right. But in terms of the clock.
Have they called time in the feature match area yet?
Another Scavenging Ooze for Pierre Dagen.
They usually put a die on the board for us when we get into extra turns.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. They called time on Pierre Dagen's turn, so Nathan Holliday's on the first of 5 extra turns. He's got this and 2 more turns. So Dagen has 2 more turns. I don't think Dagen can win with what's on board. And I don't think Holliday can win with what's on board.
Now, is this
2 mana end step?
Now, when...
Bang! Abrupt Decay. That's big.
Okay.
Now, suddenly, Dagen may be able to finagle 10 points worth of attacking.
We got a
he just brings the team, right?
Anywhere?
No, I don't think so.
No, I just thought that would have been quite a nice draw.
What's he? Yeah, he does have a treetop.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, Dagen may be able to get there. Seems like you just swing with everybody, right? Ooze can eat a creature, which would be enough to trade with Pride Mate. That's the smallest creature. Smallest ground creature, anyway. I mean, if he wants to be super conservative, he could leave the smaller Ooze on defense, but I think you just send it. Yeah.
In
He's going to leave one flyer on defense. Doesn't want to, like, you know, Court of Calling,
like
get something
Restoration
giant.
Angel
Yeah.
and
All right.
So
Leaves one flyer to play defense. Nathan, if he blocks the big Ooze, takes 2, 5, 6. If he blocks the smaller Ooze, if he blocks Treetop is maybe the block, takes 4, 5, takes 7, possibly 8 if Pierre wants to eat a creature. Yeah, Holiday looks to take somewhere in the 6, 7, 8 range, depending on what block. He cannot afford to not block. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, the attack is threatening lethal, so Holiday's obliged to block. He's decided to block Treetop Village and trade with it. Pierre has to decide whether his Ooze wants to eat anything, and no, he is content to deal 7 and put Nathan Holiday at 3.
right on the verge. Nathan Holiday draws, says, here's 2 lands.
Wow.
Pierre Dagen is in, potentially, the top 8 at 13 and 1.